an unbroken 119 run partnership between Tammy Beaumont and Natalie Siver ensured that an 8-wicket win was registered by England in the first ODI against India. Welcome back to the Outside View Live. We'll dissect whatever happened in the first match at the county ground in Bristol. And I have with me Vanitha VR and Ananya Upendran. Ananya, let's start with you first. How would you kind of sum up this innings, this match?
Disappointment, I guess. From an Indian perspective, I think it was just a very disappointing game. But you could see the chasm between the two teams. I think for me, this kind of just underlines slightly how backdated our approach is as an Indian team. And I think England were just too good on the day. We were never in the contest, and as a viewer, it was very disappointing to see.
Vanitha, let's get that bad thing away. Heather Knight couldn't perform well. Ekta Bisht wasn't amongst the wickets. You probably didn't have a good day as well.
Definitely, I think along with the Indian team, even I've not had a good day with my predictions. Maybe I'll come back stronger the next time. Like Ananya said, it's very disappointing for us. The kind of expectations that, rather than expectations, you were there out there to perform and do well. At least, if not for that, try and give a fight, which I didn't see today, and that's the most disappointing thing. And I felt we were going through the motion as bowling unit. We never showed that intent to actually go out there and give a fight. We never troubled the batter with the line and length. We never gave a fight, is all I can say. It was just that we were going through the motion. That is something very sad to see, from Indian point of view, that I felt we could have done much better. But yeah, it's just the first game of the series, and we hoping that we've seen how India bounced back after a defeat, and I'm hoping that we'll get to see that the next game.
Let's take a look at that batting scorecard for England. Tammy Beaumont opening the batting, scoring an unbeaten 87. And look at those balls, 87 of 87, a strike rate of 100, 12 fours in that. And Natalie Siver, how good was she? 74, a runner ball 74. But let's start with Tammy Beaumont. Vanitha, how impressive was she, both against seam as well as spin?
Oh, fabulous. I think if one has to learn how to bat against the best bowling unit, I think she's a prime example. And also what I really liked is her bat speed. And trust me, I would love to sit and watch her equally as much as I enjoy watching Shafali bat. Because with Tammy, there's so many things that one can learn as a cricketer. There's so many things to pick up. I mean, I really like the way how she was coming on top of the ball and how she was using her feet. And my God, the way they were sweeping, I think they were teaching us how to sweep the ball today, and which none of our batters did today, to be honest. None of our batters swept the ball or used their feet, or even for that matter, pulled the ball. And I think, they were trying to do all of these aspects today and showed us that, okay, this is how you got to play to keep up the tempo. And the second best thing was a strike rate. It was fabulous, even though there was in between where she slipped down a bit. She was batting somewhere around 85, 90. But the way she picked it up, I think for me, the highlight is the way how she paced the innings. No matter what, she really showed some patience. She respected those good balls. She put across those balls which were there. And the way how they picked the balls, especially the back of her length, was something which is for all of us to learn.
Yeah, indeed, 87 of 87. Ananya, we've seen her bat against New Zealand in a similar fashion. I think we'd also run a headline saying Tammy Beaumont sweeps New Zealand aside. So her play against spin was very impressive. What's your take? Which one did you kind of enjoy more, her attack against spin or the way she played against seam?
Well, I think both. Like Vanitha said, she was just so proactive and used her feet against both. She came down the track. She first of all stood outside the crease to kind of negate the swing of Shikha Pandey. We saw her, swinging the ball quite a great deal at the start. But she came out. She was also shuffling down slightly to cut that swing further, get on top of the ball. But I actually really enjoyed the way she dealt with someone like Ekta Bisht. I mean, Ekta Bisht is generally someone who's easier to sweep because she is a flatter trajectory and angling the ball into the pads. But I thought just the angles that she found with that sweep shot, she was able to hit her in front of square, also able to hit her behind square towards fine leg. So I just think that the huge repertoire of even those sweep shots that she has makes her such a difficult batter to bowl to as a spinner, because after she plays a sweep, she's willing to come down the track. She also has a very good cut shot. So there's just so much space that she uses, whether it's coming down the track or whether it's moving across her stumps. There's just so much that she can do to put a bowler off. So like Vanitha said, there was just so much to learn, and hopefully those Indian batters have picked up a lot of cues from her.
87, and that gives us 87 more reasons to kind of look at that innings. Vanitha, we talked about how she played against spin, but what is it about her that kind of stood out? Because is it her height that enabled her to kind of use her feet against spin, or was it something else?
There's no gravity, Sudarshan. We are not talking about gravity here. It's simple common sense. It's simple, knowing your strength and playing according to your strength. And of course, being on top of the bowler, that's the kind of cricket that she's played all her career, because I've been watching her from few years now. She likes to get on top of the bowler. And at that level, at that position, at the batting position, and the kind of strike rate that she has consistently been maintaining over period, uh, that's how she bats. And that's something which all of us, for all of us, it's not just who would want to just follow a batting, but as anybody who wants to get better as a batter, or even for the bowling unit, right? It's there's no way that you could have got her out today. She was so precise. She was so decisively going, okay, front foot, back foot, back foot. She was so decisive in terms of picking the length. Was something which will stand out for me today. The way she was picking the length was fabulous. She was so clear in terms of a mindset was best, I felt. She knew where the fielders were. She knew where the gaps were. She was just trying to hit the gaps and nothing more than that. And of course, she backed her strength also. A bat speed has been the strength for me. That was a standout today, to be honest. The way she used her hands, great hands, I must tell. Great hands.
87 not out, and the 119-run partnership with Mithali Raj, who was the cheese to the chalk that Tammy Beaumont was. Ananya, how impressive was Raj against spin? Because it almost seemed she had an extra second to judge the length, the turn, and choose the area that she wanted to.
Yeah, I mean, she was just so quick on to the back foot. It's amazing how she picked those short of a length deliveries and kind of maneuvered them into the leg side. And you saw that wagon wheel towards the end of her innings, and you could see she barely scored any runs on that offside. So that's a reflection, one, on the lines that India bowled to her, but also I think the length, the fact every time you pitched it slightly short, she's always been known to she favors that pull. She is very good through mid wicket. So I think it's probably a reflection of the lines and lengths that India bowls. But I think, like Vanitha said earlier, I think all the England batters just picked length very, very well today. And Mithali Raj was excellent. And I also think India kind of played into her hands with the way they bowl to her, very, very straight. She is a big LBW candidate, yes, but you have to be much fuller for that. I think they were just too short, and they allowed her to slightly camp on the back foot. So yeah, she was excellent, provided great foil to Tammy Beaumont, but then she accelerated her innings so well towards the end. It was great to see.
Vanitha, if you had to choose one acceleration that you loved between Tammy Beaumont and Mithali Raj, which one would you go with? Because we saw Raj start off a bit slow. She walked in at 2 for 83, not the best of circumstances to walk in, but then she kind of got herself in, then changed gear. So which one would you pick if you had to pick one?
For me, Tammy, simply because she played almost 360 degree of the ground. As a cricketer, it's so nice when you see that it's like, accessing both sides of the grounds. It shows that she has a lot many things to offer, because it also sends out a message that she's very clear, and you as a bowler, you don't know where really to bowl when somebody is playing both sides of the wicket. You'll be baffled, so wondering, where is that you could really go out there and bowl to her. And I like the fact that when a bowler is running in with a lot of doubt in your mind, it's an indication that the batter is on top of you. And that's the kind of cricket that we would like to see, the competitiveness, that what we expect from top teams is what was we got to witness that today, and that's something which I will seriously, this innings of her will always, I'll remember this for some time, because simply because the way how she accessed the entire ground was something which I will I really appreciate that, and it was fabulous to watch. It's the areas that she accessed.
The 2 wickets lost just by England. Let's look at that Indian bowling card. Not much to write home about, but there is Jhulan Goswami. Ever economical, ever disciplined. 6 overs, 1 maiden, 25 for 1. And the other wicket taker in Ekta Bish. But otherwise, there was very little to write about the Indian bowling, Ananya. But Jhulan, of course, started off really well, picking that early wicket. But were they too full, India? Were they too full at the start of the innings?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, they got driven through the covers down the ground a lot early on. And I think it was also a reflection of the fact that they knew that, there was no way they would win this game unless they bowled England out. And I think that as a bowling unit or as a bowler, that kind of means sometimes you go hunting for wickets. And that probably means that someone like Shikha Pandey, Pooja Vastakar, who are probably looking for a bit of movement, are going to pitch the ball up a lot more. Jhulan Goswami, of course, as always, was excellent. She hit the right areas, and I think that's just experience. She knows that if she builds that dot ball pressure, a wicket will come. But even she was slightly on the fuller side, probably not something that we're used to seeing from her. But I think that was just a reflection of the lack of scoreboard pressure. They went hunting for wickets, which means you often give scoring opportunities. England cashed in on them. They were excellent at the start, got off to a rollicking start, and it just meant after that India were just chasing the game. So I think it was a combination of lack of scoreboard pressure, probably being a little impatient, not believing that they could build dot ball pressure on a surface like that. So yeah, India probably didn't have their best outing with the bat or the ball today. So yeah, not a good day.
Indeed. Vanitha, let's get your thoughts on the spin attack. We saw England play 2 spinners in Sophie Eccleston and Sarah Glenn. Both went at exactly 4 and over. India used 3 in Deepti Sharma, Ekta Bish and Harmanpreet Kaur, but all were quite costly. So is it something to do with the way they bowled, or did the track, you think, magically changed in the second innings?
See, both of them had the same track. It's just the intention of the batters that made a difference. They were very clear in their head that, okay, they had a very clear game plan, and also chasing always gives you a clear perspective of how you need to go about your calculation in terms of how you take those risks. Everything is very clear while chasing. Even our Indians would have done this if they were chased. I'm sure if we were chasing today, we would have actually been on the other side, because we Indians love to chase. Let me put this across, because that is simply because we have a clear game plan in mind. I wish we could just get a bit more clear while actually we are batting first. So that's the problem. That's where the problem lies. And coming back to that, it was just the intention of the batters is what I felt the differences. And of course, they were very clear. Like I said, it all comes down to how the mindset of the players were. They were picking the length so well that it didn't matter for them. All that mattered was they just looked to put the ball in the gaps, and no matter which part of the ground it was, they were only trying to hit those gaps. And that's so pleasing to watch, because it looks so elegant, it looks so fluent when you're actually trying to hit those gaps, and that's exactly what England was trying to do. And also I felt we were drifting too much down the leg, especially spinners. We could have bowled much more disciplined line. I was not really impressed with the line and length that we were bowling today. Especially the line was very disappointing from the bowlers. But yeah, look, it happens. Overall we've had a little bit of bad day. I mean, not a little bit. It's actually a bad day for all of us. So yeah, I'm sure we'll come back quite strong the next game. I'm hoping so that we'll learn from what we've done the past match.
Well, then first ODI gone England's way, which means they have 2 more points in their tally. It's 4-2 in England's favor at the moment. The second ODI is on Wednesday. It's a day-night affair at the county ground in Taunton. Ananya, what changes do you expect from India especially?
What changes do I expect? I expect them to change their bowling lineup. It's not something that I think they should do, because it feels like you're then punishing your bowlers for something, for your batters not setting up the game. But I think it's generally what we do. We tend to chop and change that bowling unit. So I'm expecting that they'll probably try and bring in Sneha Rana or Poonam Yadav. One of them, I think probably Rana, because she bats as well, may get the nod. But I'd like India to kind of find a way to either have a talking to. That top order needs to kind of get things together. They need to sort things out. Otherwise, you change it, because I know I'm probably going to get a lot of flack for what I'm going to say right now, but I just feel like that order, the tempo that they bat at, you cannot have a 3 and 4 striking at 60 runs per 100 balls. It's not done. We've seen it with England. The openers going at 100, number 4s coming in and striking at 100. So you cannot bat at 60 and expect to win a game. So I just feel like India have to find a way to maybe up the tempo with the bat, whether they keep this batting lineup and figure out how these batters can do that is the question, or whether they want to then bring in someone else who they think can give them a bit of momentum. I actually have a left field suggestion, and I would say keep Pooja Vastrakar there, maybe bat her higher up and use her as a batting all-rounder. I think she is probably someone who can give them a lot of impetus. I know she's very young in international cricket, but I think they can develop her as a batting all-rounder. I'm not yet convinced that she can survive with her bowling, but I think she even today she showed a lot of spunk with the bat. So I think she's someone that they can invest a lot more in and probably give her a bit of a rope.
The 8-wicket loss, quite a heavy loss for India in the first ODI. The county ground Taunton, remember, the last time India played there was the World Cup match against West Indies in 2017. Smriti Mandhana scored that unbeaten 100 there. So some silver lining if India were to search for something. But Vanitha, coming to you, do you see any changes in the batting order? Because as Ananya said, that is one area which probably was lacking in today's fixture. Do you see any changes in that batting order?
The best part is that the batting unit is very experienced, so you can actually mold them, or you can ask them to be a little more flexible. That's what I'm hoping so, because they have the experience to bat with. And definitely they needs someone has to talk to them about the strike rate. I'm sure they will sit down on that. I'm sure the team management will sit down and discuss about these aspects, because that's something which we need to look at. You got to be at least going at 80 or 90 strike rate after some point, because if you're really looking to set a target of 260, 270 runs, someone has to go at 100, someone, or not one, actually two has to go. That's what England did today. Both the batters were batting at 100, and that's the reason why they were able to actually finish it down at 34.5. And look, we need somebody to bat like that. And I'm sure today, if a Smriti or a Shafali or any even Harman for that matter, if she'd actually stayed around and played for some time, we could have had that. It's just that one odd day for us, batting order, especially the guys who go at 100 strike rate could not get going today. Maybe in the next coming game we'll get to see them bat. And I'm hoping that they will get some big ones, so that we'll not have the discussion about the strike rate today, since they failed it. The strike rate has been highlighted time and again. It's simply because of these guys being failed. And once these guys come good, I don't think so we'll be having topic about this. We'll be talking about something else. Currently at the moment, this is the issue. And yeah, I'm sure, those guys have been a star performers. They're champion players. They know how to pull themselves up. They know how to come out there and perform. And I'm waiting for Harman show the next coming Mondays.
Right then. So we'll have more to talk about, of course, but talking about England, I think they had a very perfect game. Heather Knight won the toss as well. So an 8-wicket win to cap it all off. But before we end, once again, it's time to put both of you in a spot. You will have to choose your moment of the first ODI. But the catch is, once that moment is chosen, the second person should not choose the same moment. So who would want to go first? Is the opener in Vanitha ready?
Tammy. No doubt it's the Tammy. For me, it'll be one of the best moment in the match, and truly enjoyed each and every ball watching her bat.
Ananya, you're left with a tough choice. Can't choose Tammy Beaumont.
Oh, well, then it's easy. Catherine Brunt and her bouncer barrage. I absolutely enjoyed that. I think both she and Siva using the short ball was great to watch. So yeah, team pacer.
You really can't discount it because Vanitha was also caught saying that she loved the way Brandt bowled in that first inning. So there you go. Catherine Brunt's bouncer barrages and Tammy Beaumont's batting. So that brings curtains to this first ODI. Remember, India lost the first match by 8 wickets. The second match is on Wednesday, a day-night affair. So we'll catch you before the match on Wednesday, which is 6 p.m. Indian time and 3:30, 2:30, 1:30. Beg your pardon, my math is a bit awry. So 1:30 GMT. So see you then on Wednesday. Till then, stay safe, mask up,